Okay, I think we're live. Hi everyone, and welcome to our weekly Wednesday live stream. Let me just make sure that you guys can hear this all right. And then let us know in the comments if there's something that rises, like an audio issue or a tech issue that we need to take care of right away. We good?
It sounds good.
All right.
We'll see. Let us know.
Well, welcome. This one was a live stream that was requested from you guys last week, and this is a drawn together stream. And these are kind of a special one where you guys, oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to have the comments still pulled up so I can see what they're saying. You guys are going to be suggesting ideas for me to draw and incorporate into the drawing, and then we create something together through Frankenstein methods, essentially. Make sure the audio's off. So hello everyone, and as an official introduction, I'm Timothy Von Rueden, better known as Vonnart Online, and this is my boyfriend Josh.
Hello. Who
helps moderate these streams and co-host. What else do we got today? So I guess, yeah, if you want to just settle in, before we get into actually drawing, if you guys want to start suggesting ideas, because I'm not going to just jump into it right away, I'm going to list some of the ideas you guys write down in my little bullet journal. Then we'll kind of go from there. One thing we are going to try doing is we're going to prioritize the members on here on YouTube, just because we want to get more emojis to be viable on this chat. We just got a new one from Ella. We have the suspicious looking one, which I think describes me a little too well most times. So hey Tijal, hey Oscar, Felix, hello everyone. So yeah. Today should be a pretty fun stream. These always make me just a tad nervous because going in blind is something that I just want to make sure I'm like on my toes the whole time, making sure that I don't stumble on like proportions or anatomy. But these are the streams that I think are good for you guys to see as well, because even though I feel pretty confident drawing, being put up to the challenge of like draw anything and then here we go, well, you never know what comes out, but I think this is good for me, keeping on my toes and adapting to something new. So yeah. Hi, everyone.
Let's see. So we're getting Felix says, I want some bat wings.
Bat wings.
We're completely ignoring Tigel's pig suggestion. You can make a pig bat.
Oh my gosh. Do I not know how to spell suggestions?
Suggesti.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you got it.
For some reason, the double G looked weird to me.
Oh, Casper. Hey,
yeah, happy Wednesday, everyone.
Casper's early on the stream today.
Oh, hi, baby.
He's early today.
This is our boy Casper. He was the stray that we found last winter.
Hey, look out the window. Oh. There you go.
Yeah, the cats have been loving outside.
There you go.
Hi, everyone. I'm okay with a pig. I'll write it down, but that doesn't mean we're going to do it, Tijal, but I'll write it down. Oscar, have you seen the cartoon Oh, yes. Kind of a guilty pleasure from back in the day. I think in high school I was watching South Park and Drawn Together just some nights. I think Drawn Together I found a little too funny. Looking back, it's like wildly inappropriate. But at the time, I thought Drawn Together was so funny. Let's see, what was the other thing? Bat wings? And mind you, you can do more than just subject matter. So think like, do we want to do more fantastical? I definitely would try to stay away from sci-fi. But if we're staying in the fantasy realm, are we doing a character? Are we doing a creature? Are we doing environment? Throw some ideas at us. What are we thinking today?
Octopus hair.
Because so far we got vampire pig, essentially.
Okay, come on. He's stuck in the window.
Oh, Casper.
There you go. Oh, the poor baby. Fox face, previously Luna Luz.
Hey,
hello,
Fox.
I rebranded a couple days ago. This is still Luna Luz.
Well, I'm going to call you Foxen from now on. Hello, Fox.
Fox. Elena's here.
Octopus hair.
Hello, on treadmill, but still in chat soon. Welcome, Elena. Good to see you. Oh, you're good, Oscar.
Oh, yeah, Oscar, don't worry about it. This isn't like we're begging for members right now.
But the more members we have, we can actually get some more schwa emojis, because I'm feeling a little outnumbered right now.
Josh was a little jealous that I added the Tim one this morning, but I told him I traded one of the old Tim emojis out. So, but I think if we get 2 more members, we can add another emoji. I think that's what they said.
Then we can have 2 schwa emojis.
Let's see here. Fox, something dark but delicate. Actually, and since you are emoji, Fox, I'm going to put a little star next to yours. Dark but delicate. Man, if there has been a better phrase to describe my art, I would say most people have described it as strong but delicate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oscar, my suggestion is anything that involves beautiful people, lots of flowers, and butterfly. I mean, that would be probably good because I've never done that before. So I think it would be good for me to branch out. Beautiful people, flowers, butterflies. Well, it's funny, the drawing I just did, is it in this room? Here, I can grab it really quick. I think I've been so excited for the arrival of spring.
I didn't bring this one over.
It's still in the... Oh, no, not this one. This was still in the scanner. We had a power weekend this past weekend with our friend Corinna, and literally I had kind of the face and the hair done from like a few months ago. I started this drawing, but I put it on the side because I wasn't really feeling it that much. And then with the arrival of spring, I was just really feeling flowers. So I really wanted to go overboard with floral. So yeah, I guess this would kind of be what you're thinking, Oscar. I would definitely say that's in my wheelhouse. So I'm very comfortable doing a beautiful person, flowers, and then butterflies.
I love this drawing so much.
You know what's funny is I thought I snuck a butterfly somewhere in here. Oh, there it is.
Forgot your own butterfly.
Yeah, well, there used to be one above his head. I must have taken it out.
Oh.
I think it looked like bunny ears, and I was like, well, not really the vibe I'm going for. Yeah.
Felix says there's a black cat in our village that keeps wandering in our garden and house. I don't know why, but black cats are always so trusting and curious. Casper is surprisingly trusting compared to like the first couple days we had him. He was weird, but
Yeah.
he settled in pretty quickly.
Oh, let me throw that over there.
Tigil says a person that is divided in two vertically, half man, half woman, half white, half dark skin.
Oh gosh, half and half.
Fairy wings.
Fairy wings.
Yeah, Catalina, I suggest fairy wings.
Well, here, how about this? Why don't Josh, if you could create a poll. Let's
Okay.
say, do we want to do creature or character? I think we'll start off like that.
Okay.
Now you guys gotta remember, it's been a while since I've done one of these streams with you guys, so I'm kind of relearning how to go about this process. But I want to do more of these because these are really fun, and usually we come up with something that's pretty unique and something that I probably would have never thought of on my own. And it's just kind of fun to see your guys' suggestions.
Is that right?
Do character. Humanoid makes it sound like
Oh.
anthropomorphic.
Okay. So creature or character?
Yep. So creature
That's a good
or
start.
character. I'm down for either. So like I'm not leaning one way or the other right now. So if you want to do a creature, if you want to do a character, I'm good for either.
All right. See some other suggestions.
Maybe I'll do like a little warm-up drawing while we're getting our
Okay,
suggestions.
I'm gonna put my vote in. Hang on, don't look.
I can't see your
All right, I vote it.
vote. So yeah, there should be a poll on the YouTube chat right now.
Oscar says you've never drawn beautiful people before.
Yeah, never. This will be my first time if we end up doing that.
Oh, Ella's here.
Oh, hello, Ella. Thank you again for the beautiful emoji that you drew.
My favorite thing is to put the new Timoji next to mine.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty great. That's like whenever you're telling me something that you think I'm going to really be like shocked or like, I don't know, excited to hear. Then when I'm not, you're like, oh.
Yeah, your expression doesn't change. Ruin Wonderland says the face of that drawing gives me Peter Pan vibes.
We just heard something pretty interesting. What if, okay, hear me out. What if Hook is actually the hero in the story and Peter Pan is the villain? Peter Pan steals children out of their homes and brings them to this place where they can't escape and they can never age. And Hook was one of the boys that, for whatever reason, was able to age, and he's doing everything in his power to stop Pan from stealing children from their households.
You love this theory so much.
I love this theory so much. Well, I'm definitely a fan of villains more than I am heroes. So introducing this idea, it's just there's so much story and lore that can be added to this, and you don't have to change too much. Because the idea of they're even called like the Lost Boys, and they think that it's kind of like a cult almost. They think that they left their home because their parents were like wanting them to grow up or whatever. But it was actually really good intentions. But then you have this cult leader, Peter, that is brainwashing them into thinking that staying young forever is the best course. And I don't know. I love the theory
love this
a lot.
theory.
Let's see. Were there any other?
I feel like there was a night where we just
Mayan
talked about
mask.
that.
Oh, thank you, Vampy.
Oh.
It's probably going to be one figure. Who knows? Maybe not. Ella, maybe something feline inspired because of the lunar year? Feline inspired.
Foxface says, we have a little black cat stray we've been letting sleep inside for the winter. We call her Sage. She won't let us touch her, and she's very sassy but very cute. They're so sweet. Oh, Casper, look at that. On cue.
Yeah, it's funny. The cats always come in here when we're streaming because they hear us talking, and I think they think we're talking to them, so like come in the room. But usually they don't come into the art room very often. Oh gosh, who's my favorite villain? Asked the Ruined Wonderland. I think Maleficent will always hold a place in my heart because I thought she was like the first badass villain. Oof. I'd have to really think about this.
Mine's probably Regina on Once Upon a Time.
Oh gosh.
I love Regina.
Oh, I think I know. I don't remember her name specifically, but the wife in Gone Girl, I love her. A little crazy.
Wait, I don't think I've seen Gone Girl.
Yes, with Ben Affleck and.
I've seen this. Do you show me this?
How do you not remember? Did I show you this? Did we watch this? If we didn't watch
we
this,
might
we
have
gotta
watched
watch
it,
like,
but I might have forgot.
right away. Ooh, rats.
Wait, I don't think we watched this.
Elena says Peter Pan is definitely a villain. Whether Hook is also a villain or a hero of sports. Oh, thank you, Not Tijol. Donated $2. Or wait, I gotta hear
Big
this.
PIG, big pig.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Tijol. Okay, well,
We have to add a pig.
We have to add a pig. Okay, I'll add the star next to it. So right now we have Dark but Delicate and Pig are like the front runners. And it looks like in the... What was it? The poll. It looks like Creature is going to win. Okay, so I think we're leaning Creature here.
Digil had to pay for his prop to work. That's how things work around here. Oh, Amber, I've heard that Peter Pan theory before. It is fascinating.
Oh, your sister, Amber?
Yeah.
Hey, Amber. I've never heard that before. Like, this was, what, a month ago? And I fell in love with that
They
theory.
really should make a movie with that. Elena says Peter Pan is definitely a villain. Whether Hook is also a villain or a hero of sorts, don't know. Love Pan and Hook in Once Upon a Time, where Hook gets a redemption arc. Oh my... Another Once Upon a Time person. So I love Regina.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say whether or not I like
They actually
Regina.
give Hook... Peter's a bad guy on
Zodiac
Once Upon a
signs.
Time. Peter's a villain on that.
Oh, I do remember you telling me that. Actually, for zodiac signs, I've been wanting to do the whole celestial arc of all 12 of them, but I gotta wait till the tarot and this new mermaid deck is done. But it's something I've always wanted to dabble in. But I feel like I'm a Libra, so I want to do Libra first. But if I do that one, I will get nonstop asked, when are you doing Aries? When are you doing Taurus? When are you doing the other ones? And I've kind of learned that from doing the tarot deck is as soon as you do one, just be prepared for like a multitude of questions of when are you going to finish this? When's the next one? What was the other one that I saw? Thank you for... Oh, hi, Casper.
Oh, Casper.
Thank you for making this live. I love them. Absolutely. Gone Girl is amazing. I agree.
I might crack that one over there for him really quick because I think
Just so you can look outside.
Yeah, he wants that. Casper, come here.
Humans are creatures too. I agree. Okay, I guess if we're leaning pig and then dark but delicate. So that's, I guess, the initial words we're looking at here. Let me make sure you guys can see this. All right, move this over. Okay, let's see. A dark but delicate pig. I don't even... I mean, you guys are definitely throwing me for a loop here. Okay, let's see here. Let's brainstorm. So if we're doing a pig, I guess I'll do an anthropomorphic pig because I can't imagine just a normal pig.
What about a normal pig walking through a jungle?
A jungle? How many
Because
pigs do
we
you
have
know
bats
walking
and
through?
we have all these other things. It feels jungly.
Well,
And
okay.
cats, felines.
I think we can incorporate a few things here. So like bat wings and octopus hair. Ready? Hear me out. So we're in a dark fantasy world, and we're gonna do like a boar more than a pig. I hope that's okay, Digital. He's gonna be a merchant, and he's gonna be selling weird things, including bat wings and all this other stuff. And he'll be behind this little booth or maybe he's like a traveling merchant. Think maybe Elden Ring's a little too serious. Think more of like, what's more of not Final Fantasy.
I think a normal pig doing this would be cute.
Yeah, but he can't even talk.
He just snorts. It'd be so cute.
Hold on. I'm going to look up some boar references.
Okay. No, actually, I like this idea.
Well, okay.
We should do a yes or no poll.
No, we're not letting you take control of that. Well, okay. So, I mean, let's play around with this idea. Maybe it's not fully committing yet, but so far we got this pig merchant, and he's selling these weird things.
No, Tigil, don't back down from this. You paid for this.
What was he saying?
You don't have to do a pig. You guys know I'm messing around.
Digital, it's too late. It's already in the works. The flow is moving. The river is moving one direction. You can't stop it. You got to flow with it.
All right, we got another suggestion for
Actually,
rats.
I'm gonna do a couple thumbnails on the very top here. I mean, thankfully I love pigs, so like for me this isn't that far of like a, oh no, I gotta draw pigs. So I'm gonna do a few thumbnails first, and then we're gonna bring it down here for the final drawing.
All right. Oscar says a normal pig salesman. Yes, do that.
Well, we can even bring this further. Imagine if he was once a person, got turned into a pig from like a spell or something, and now he's under this control, or under like a witch's servant essentially, and he's the one that has to follow her, either with all these trinkets, or he's the one that sells them to other people. There's a lot that we can do here.
All right, all right. Pigs and rats, what is this? Oh, Amber says, I always think of our cat Gypsy when I think dark like delicate. Oh my god, Gypsy. We had a cat growing up, we found him straying. He had no tail. His eyes were like closed shut because he had cataracts in them. He was rough when we first found him. But yeah, he had no tail. It was like cut off and it was broken 3 parts. So the little stub that was there was a zigzag. Gypsy saw some things, but he was the sweetest little thing. Catalina says it's too late, Chigil.
It's too
What's
late.
done has been done.
You paid for this. You wanted this. I almost imagine, okay, I don't know if I want him to be like a rolling cart merchant where there's like a little cart that he pushes around, like his little wares. What are those called? I think I feel like I know what I'm picturing in my head. Like if you guys have seen Last Airbender.
Like trolleymen? Or
Yeah, but what are it's like a trolley.
yeah. Anything from the trolley days. Harry Potter.
Actually, yeah, let me look up a trolley really quick.
So
So imagine he's like traversing, so this like trolley has these big wooden wheels.
oh, Dustin's here. Inkwell. A pig apothecary.
Dustin, hello. Dustin
Drea, hello.
is one of my good friends that we do these weekly hangouts together, and he's a phenomenal artist. So if you want to go check him out, his Instagram is @inkwell_illustrations.
Tigil says he needs to be thick.
I'll make them there.
Hang on. Oh, yeah, there it is. Ella said maybe it's a pig similar in look to the Spirited Away pigs that's serving food, with tentacles and other odd ingredients. Oh, the little Spirited Away pigs are cool.
I mean, I remember as a kid they kind of frightened me, but yes, I do want to do more of like a realistic pig. I feel like I'm definitely going to have to do a few different thumbnails of the trolley itself because admittedly this is not my... it's not in my wheelhouse. I don't know exactly how a trolley looks or behaves. And I feel like the ones I'm finding on Pinterest are like these really modern ones. I'm like, well...
Oh, yeah, those are no good.
Do you guys... Is it just a cart? Like a shop cart?
No, they're called trolleys, but those are like fancy hotel trolleys.
That's what we had, bat wings. Maybe something else you guys can start listing are things that you want our boar to be selling.
Because there's ones like this where the trolley even has like fold out sides on it to make a table or something.
Maybe I'll do some of that.
Foxface says maybe he's hoarding all these trinkets to make enough money to pay off whoever cursed him to return to normal.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Wondering, I guess I could go a little bigger with our lock here. I know, I feel like I've got so much Elden Ring on the brain right now. I could make this a legit like block. And I think it's fun to play with shapes. So the idea of this very roundish, curvy pig with just a very straight edge block, it's a nice contrast in shapes. Should he be wearing clothes? You know what? That'll be... Could you start the next poll?
Clothes or no clothes? Someone comes in and they're like, what?
Maybe don't word it like that necessarily.
All right, we didn't see... Let's see the results. Well, I mean, we're already kind of on creature, so I guess the other poll...
Yeah.
A creature won out, yeah. All right. Clothes...
Digital paid for this creature.
Should the pig Did it go? Oh, that's weird. I clicked it. Oh my god.
Oh wait, there you
it
go.
Goes. Shoo.
Yeah. Oh, a piggy bank. Ooh, wait. Hold on.
Wait.
Oh, the trolley is just a money laundering front. How can I make this? Okay, so then if you have to pay the pig, you have to he has to have a... I'm trying to make this not sound super silly. But you know how piggy banks usually have that slot for the coins to go in? How can I make that a part of him without it being too weird? I do like that idea, Dustin. Do I do a lock on his... or a coin slot on his belly?
I feel like he should be carrying a bag behind him that's just full of all the money.
Well, I like the idea that he is the bank.
Oh,
like an actual piggy bank.
Wait, he's eating the money? Oh my god. Tigil says he needs the Nate vibe, bad boy pig.
I'll give him an earring.
Red pants.
Well, the thing about story and lore is it has to kind of fit within that world. It has to make sense. I don't like when story elements are just thrown on a character just to throw it on. So the piggy bank, I like the idea, and I'm trying to figure out how to mesh it together.
Natalia asked, what pencil are you using?
So I use General Kimberly's, and this is a 3H. So I work with really light pencils until kind of near the end. How are we looking on the clothes? Okay, so people are liking clothes. I think I might give them those like really pulled high pants.
Tigil says, I paid for this. I want full frontal. Someone's going to have to time out Tigil. All right, clothes did win out.
Okay, then I might give him kind of the pants that are a little more thrown together, throw like a rope. God, there's so much we could do with a piggy bank. My mind is like racing right now.
Elena says, selling miscellaneous animal bits for spells like rat tails, eyeballs, hair, or something. Don't know if that's too morbid.
Nope, that's definitely what I'm thinking. Is like he's selling witchy things.
Drea says, look at painted porcelain pigs.
Oh, actually, yeah. Yeah, so I have my Pinterest iPad on the side here. Well, it's like, should his nose be the coin slot? But I don't like that there's two. Maybe I could look up porcelain piggy bank.
Bring a coin to your pig.
Yeah, usually they're on the back.
Rune Wonderland says, weren't pigs the ones to smell truffles? They could sell those.
Oh yeah, definitely truffles.
No truffles on the cart. We got a couple clothes suggestions too. Felix suggests maybe a little poncho so that he doesn't get cold. Catalina says maybe some clothes like a white shirt and tiny vest for some clothes suggestions.
I don't like the tiny vest. Because I'm thinking if he's cursed, he's definitely like wearing more rough clothes. Like whatever he could scrounge together to fit his new pig body.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how to do a coin slot because I actually think this is really cool.
I know.
I think the coin slot on the head keeps it like goofy and more, I guess, realistic to what a penny bank is. But if you want it to still feel, I don't know actually. I think it's fun having it on the head. Doesn't make sense necessarily, but I like it.
I gotta think about it because I don't like when things don't make sense, but aesthetically they look cool. Unless if like that's the world, so like.
What if it's a rat? So you keep the shape of it more rat-like in a pig suit.
No.
Okay, I was just going off of the rat thing from earlier.
I'm also like, should his head be more in a cage? I don't. We gotta play with this idea, but what are people saying?
Here, scroll down.
Mushrooms growing off his skin. I'll ban myself. I mean, this is definitely getting more dark because we could do more of like skin abrasions and things. Maybe not too gross. We don't want to dive too much into that camp.
Louis Vuitton high heels.
Okay, I think at least I can start with the pig head.
Ella says maybe the trolley can be the piggy bank part. It's less fun, but if you don't want the money to go inside him, that might be an option.
It's tough because I like the idea of a witch cursing him into like a living piggy bank. So if we're kind of going off of a living piggy bank,
There's got to be a clever way to do this.
well, I guess I can at least start on our little pig. I might keep them kind of smaller so we can, because we only have. I'm gonna have this one be a little longer, so like 2 more hours.
I know, because a lot of times they're on the back. You know, like the slot.
I know, but there's no way with him.
Yeah, so
standing up. Oh, there we go.
That's a scary looking pig.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Spirited Away ones, those were kind of creepy. I mean, they're more realistic, but they definitely give off more of like a boar.
Oh, Oscar says a backpack for the coins.
Yeah, but I like that, like, he's the piggy bank, you know?
Pidgel, his name's Pidgel. Pigel. Pigel or Pidgel?
Pigel.
Pigel? Yeah.
Hey Lucas, good afternoon Timothy and Josh. I would like to know, how is your process to find and use references? Normally I will Frankenstein things pretty heavily, so I try not to rely on just one reference. So even with my Pinterest board over here, I'll be scrolling through like multiple, because you don't want it to look like you're just stealing from a single image and basically copy and pasting it to your own. So there's the book about this too called How to Steal Like an Artist. And the idea is, okay, if I'm drawing a pig, I should be looking up references of a pig. And when I'm doing that, I should look up multiple. Let me try doing this coin slot really quick. But I know for human references, I'll almost always take my own pictures. So, I mean, Josh has definitely posed for a lot of them. I've definitely posed for a lot of them if I just need like a hand reference or something. I can just take a picture on my computer really quick. So don't be embarrassed to take pictures of yourself. You are a free walking reference that you can use at any time. And especially for checking anatomy and proportions and stuff. Ooh, I am not, for some reason, I'm not vibing with that. What else are people saying?
Maybe give him a hole in his tummy, because some piggy banks have a hole with a cork in the tummy.
Yeah, I like the cork, but I think I like the coin slot better. I think like visually, it's this cool like slit, and the idea of thinking of it like filling up to his head, the coins inside. And I like the idea that he can break the spell when the coin, like he basically is full. So that's why he's trying to sell all these weird things.
Oh, so we're going with the spell thing still. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. I never understood in TV shows when they would smash their piggy banks open.
Oh, I never understood that either.
Like, I would just, yeah, I never got that. Digital says the pig from Toy Story had the cork in its belly. That way you don't need the slot. Tim's set on the slot right now.
I mean, I think because I like the idea of him walking around, and like when he walks, you can just hear him jingling. But if it was at his stomach, I feel like, how would you put the money in? Like there would still have to be a slot somewhere. Like I guess he could be eating it, which isn't the worst idea.
I think the slot though adds a little bit of fun to it.
Well, it's that story element.
Yeah. Because if he's just eating it, I don't think it correlates as well to piggy bank, you know.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah. Yes, we'll keep brainstorming. Actually, keep the suggestions coming though, because I think we're gonna find something that feels right.
Well, and also, what else should he be selling? Because right now we got bat wings, octopus hair, I guess fairy wings, and rats. Whatever that entails.
I guess what he's wearing too. Are we pretty set on?
Yeah, like the little vest. But I mean, I'm definitely okay with changing it up. But I like the vest so far.
Lucas says, thank you. I've been producing a few pieces to start organizing a portfolio, and your art has been such an inspiration to me.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, best of luck with building a portfolio.
Ella says, I think the idea is that the slot is at the back if the cork is on his belly. Yeah, I mean, usually it would be in the back. But I guess since you're doing the angle, though, we have to still put it somewhere.
So I think this kind of goes back into when I went to school for concept art. Like if I did this whole idea with the anthropomorphic pig walking around with his cart, visually, someone should be able to look at it and kind of figure it out without having like extra details on the side. So I think if we're doing this this living piggy bank, I shouldn't have to explain that the slot's on the back. Like visually, there should be some kind of a clue that that's what it is. And I remember one of my teachers was telling me if the person can't get it within like 5 seconds of looking at your drawing, then it might not be a good concept piece. And that's something I think about when creating concepts, is making sure that it fits the story elements that I'm trying to include alongside. But also, I gotta definitely move a little faster here.
G says, what if he had a hat with a slot in it? That's cute.
Yes, I think what I'm trying to express with the living piggy bank is it has to be on him. Like, he is the piggy bank. So it
Like
can't be a backpack. It can't be the cart.
Money's going into him.
Yeah, so then the spell will be broken when he's full, essentially. I mean, we could do the nose. I just feel like that would be visually, it would almost look like an outlet, like a plug.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to work as much. Plus, a pig nose is just really fun to draw.
Yeah, definitely rats. Rats could be the customers, I guess. I think someone else suggested that too. So what about a beret?
A beret.
That'd be cute.
I mean, I could give him some kind of a hat. I'm okay with the hat.
A little cork hat. Catalina says the slot there just makes it feel more fairy tale like. Yeah, on the head. Yeah, I think it does have like a fun.
Like, I don't know if I just make it smaller. I think that's what I have to play around with. But I think it's better visually than to not have a hat if we keep the slit on the forehead. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start this over. I'm going to draw it way smaller. Because I can already tell I'm going to run out of space with the cart. Also, I was caring way too much about the details. Actually, let me move over. Scoot this up.
Would be sad if he was cracked and dropping coins. Could never fill up. Oh.
Oh, the true horror.
Right. Nino says, speaking of portfolio, can you give some tips on how to make a good professional looking one?
Yes. So to create a good portfolio, I would say keep it consistent. Keep it relatively in the same subject matter. So if you want to be an environment artist, if you want to be a character artist, create a portfolio that centers around that. It doesn't make a lot of sense to include everything if you're going for a job that is specifically tuned to what you actually enjoy doing. So make sure when you do your portfolio, I would rather see 8 really strong pieces than 30 with some strong, some medium, some weak. Because something that I used to teach because this is something I actually taught for, was building portfolios. And one of the things is you're going to be judged basically on your weakest piece. So you want to make sure that when you present your portfolio, that every piece in that portfolio is something that you feel pretty confident and pretty proud of to show. Because otherwise, someone might be looking at the weakest piece in your portfolio and think, okay, well, if this is something that this artist considers to be a strong piece, they might not have a good constructive critical eye to have seen that this is actually not that strong. So you want to make sure that you only include pieces that would really sell yourself in a positive light. Because I know sometimes we think, oh, we got to show everything, but in reality, it's actually better to just show your best. Unless if your best is only 4 pieces, yeah, maybe do some more before finishing up. I would say you should have at least 8. I think any less than 8 feels underwhelming, and then that might indicate that you have problems with like time, or that you're kind of ill-prepared for a full-time career. So I would say that, and then make sure you don't theme your portfolio too much. I saw a lot of people when I went to school, they thought like their pages, there was the one, I'm so sorry, I don't remember their name, and I would never say it publicly, but it was terrible because they thought they would go for like a 50s diner theme. So the portfolio, the background on all their drawings, if this was like a portfolio page, they would have their drawings this big, and the rest was this kitchen floor checkered tile pattern.
Oh no.
And it was visually distracting to the point where I couldn't even focus on the actual illustrations that he was showing, not only because they were so small, but because you had this checkerboard pattern that was just visually not pleasant to look at. And like all the names of everything was like a neon sign. It just felt very weird for a professional portfolio. So a lot of the times, keep it simple, keep it clean. So black, mid-tone gray, or a white background. You can do maybe some color, but honestly, people don't want to see your themed portfolio. They want to see the art that you're presenting, So yeah, that would be my biggest piece of advice when doing portfolios. I'm trying to think if there's any last minute keep watermarks off your images. That should be obvious, but you'd be surprised. And I think that's it. Yeah. So I would say those would be my biggest piece of advice.
Ella says, I want to know why he got cursed. Why did the curse specifically make him gather coins? Ella says maybe he gambled away a significant amount of money that would have gone to his poor family, or he was a rich noble that made his people suffer by collecting super high taxes. Robin Hood lion type. Now he's cursed collecting money.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I could see maybe he owed a debt to the witch of some kind. Maybe that's why he's been cursed.
Oh my gosh. A loan shark witch who, if they don't pay the loan on time.
Do we like a circle or I think I might do a square.
Danae says, or a tat that says bank. The piggy bank. Samantha Renee says, hi, I finally made it live. Well, welcome, Samantha.
Welcome.
Literally my favorite artist. Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Glad you were able to make one of these.
Catalina says, I like the idea that he has the slot and he can't access the money because only the witch who cursed him can determine when enough is enough.
Yeah, I definitely I like the idea of it has to be like full,
What a curse. Wait, what's around his head?
So I'm thinking this must be like the enchantment. So they were going to have a giant lock.
Oh.
Because going back to creating concept art, I think you have to have this visual understanding of what you're looking at quickly. So immediately, a lock in like this head chamber gives the impression that he is a prisoner to something. So that would be like the key visual for the storytelling element.
And then once it's filled up, the lock opens and he's free to curse?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Ella says Josh is my favorite artist too. Thank you, Ella. Lucas asks, do you have lessons available on a platform? I'd love to have you as a teacher.
So I used to teach full-time at cgcookie.com, and I was like the concept art teacher. But currently I am doing more like personal work, and we're traveling to conventions and stuff. So I currently do not teach. I think someday I'll get back into it when I don't want to do like cons as much, and I want to do more like home things. But I do have a lot of YouTube videos, and we do these every Wednesday. So if you want to come join in, it's kind of like a free tutorial session, but it's usually more random, so I guess it's not as structured. But I do plan on doing, either for my Patreon backers or for members here on YouTube, some kind of like critique stream where people can submit their work. Actually, I might do it for YouTube members because, like I said, we're trying to build up our members here on YouTube so we can add more emojis. I truly wish it was... I don't know why they made it behind like a paywall to how many emojis you can add, but that's what we're working with for YouTube. So I would say those type of streams, if you want to then submit work to me, and maybe we'll do one in April. Actually, we will do one in April.
Probably like one a month or something we'll try to do.
Yeah.
'Cause those are really fun, and I think everyone gets something from that.
So then we'll kind of make an announcement about a week prior to when those will be, and then you can submit your pieces. If you're a YouTube member, then we'll do a live critique. And then if you have any questions specifically about your art or what you want to grow and improve on, I'll probably give about 10 minutes per person, and then we'll go from there.
Clothes did officially went out.
Yes. He will not be a naked pig.
I wonder if there's another... I guess keep setting ideas for the trolley cart, too. 'Cause that's still something that we...
I guess let me build his actual form now.
Tigel says, what if there is a giant coin sticking out of his back? That implies there is a slot.
Actually, I mean, that would be a good workaround. So, like, if you for sure wanted the slot on the back, that would be perfect. The only thing is, the coin would have to look like it's being pushed in. Well, maybe that would work with just... But then if the coin was big, is that the currency, like, in this world? It would have to be, like, a smaller coin. Well, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I think if I drew more like a side view, I think it would make more sense to show the coin. You know what? We'll try it.
I feel like the head still for this works better because if the customer's paying, it's saying that they have to walk behind him to pay compared to just like dropping it in. I don't know.
I mean, there could be a story element of like to be paid, you have to go behind his back.
Oh.
But it almost makes more sense, though, if he wasn't the one cursed. Well, maybe. Yeah, no, there's something there.
Yeah, because, like, maybe he spent his life scamming people, so now he thinks they're paying him, but they're actually not putting the money in.
Oh, could you imagine? He can't actually see if people are paying him.
Yeah. The scammer gets scammed.
What does a pig leg look like? Well, I guess he's wearing clothes.
Mason says, woohoo, caught your live stream again. Best birthday present this year.
Oh,
happy
well,
birthday.
Happy birthday, yeah. I'm glad we can draw a tortured pig that's been imprisoned in a piggy bank body. Happy birthday.
Emily says, please update your con schedule on your website. I would like to try to visit your table.
Yes, I know that's something I was going to do early April because our next con is mid-April in Indiana, and then our con schedule kind of begins again.
I'll say, We're getting confirmations now too, which is nice. But I guess we could put like tentative cons down.
Yeah.
That way, then at least people know we could be.
Well, I wanted
there,
to do an
but-
official post on Instagram, but I didn't want to do the official post. Basically, I'm waiting to see if we got confirmed for DragonCon. That's kind of been the big one that I'm waiting to do the con post.
Yeah. Samantha asks, are you drawing this from references or just straight from your imagination?
At this point, now I'm going from imagination. I looked at somewhat of a reference of a pig head for the head, but I even deformed that. So that's the other thing about using references is, you know what, I can zoom in a little bit here. So even though I was looking, where's that cord? Oh, could you turn off the overhead light?
The overhead, yeah.
Even though I was looking at a pig head for reference,
There we go.
I made it more my own to fit more of a looking forward position. I made the nose a little bigger because there's just some things I want to make my own. So you don't have to use reference, one for one.
Rueden says, perhaps draw a customer that's about to put a coin in the hole.
That would work.
Sangel asks, what type of paper do you use?
Strathmore
Strathmore.
Mixed Media.
Okay, I think there's one here, but it's closed already. It's this gorgeous yellow.
So with Strathmore, I'm actually an official ambassador of them now. So they gave me a bunch of sketchbooks to work with. But this was kind of really cool because it's not even like a sponsor that I feel obligated to do. I was already working with Strathmore to begin with. So I can honestly say I recommend them, and it doesn't feel like paid promotion or advertising for them.
Danae says maybe there's a few rolled up paper bills sticking out of his back slot.
You guys really want the slot to be in the back.
Yeah, right? I know. I mean, the coin thing would work with it. I guess we could do a poll. I don't know.
The only thing is, like, at this angle, since I've kind of committed to it, if I were to draw a coin, maybe. But then the idea is, okay, if the coin is this big, this doesn't really make sense because then the currency, the coins must be huge, which wouldn't make sense. But if I did a little coin, which possibly, I don't know if we'd even be able to see at this angle because his line would probably be like more there if this is his vertebrae.
I think it would look more like a lump than a coin, to be honest.
That's what I would be afraid of.
Yeah, I think the head's still cute.
We'll play with it though. I'm still not completely vetoing it.
We'll see.
Do I make that head bump smaller?
Cemented Ron says he is broken from the waist down, filling the floor with coins.
I do like the idea that he has to be very careful because, yeah, if he breaks, he'll just be leaking coins and the spell will never be broken.
So we're saying he is made of porcelain, we're thinking. Or like...
Maybe not porcelain per se, but he's hollow.
Okay. Like Lolly, it says, I drew a mind horse. It's anything but a horse.
The what?
I drew a mind horse. It's anything but a horse. I think without reference, I'm guessing.
Oh, gotcha. Yes. If you're drawing animals from memory, it's very difficult. I would definitely always recommend looking at reference for that kind of stuff.
Lucas says, thanks. I'm on Patreon and on your Discord channel. I will keep joining the streams, and I liked the idea of talking about submitted artworks of the members.
Yes. So that includes Patreon backers. So if you're backing me on either Patreon or on YouTube, we'll do the critique of your stuff live. So you can see how if we're adding little cracks, it could be it's not porcelain, but it is a more fragile material than like skin. So yeah, if he's cracking, he has to be very careful. So I like the idea of in this world, every step could be his last. So he's got to be a little careful with that.
Could have like things taped up or something, or Band-Aids, trying to like keep it.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah. Drea says, you haven't been confirmed for Dragon Con. Andrew did.
Well, so Artist Alley got confirmed. We kind of pulled a move this year, and we only applied to the art show, which I know it's kind of crazy. They sound similar, but they're actually very different and in very different locations. So hopefully we get confirmed for the art show.
It was risky.
It was risky.
I really hope we can go to Dragon Con this year, but that's where cons are never 100%.
They're never for sure. I think for any artists that are watching this right now that are curious about doing cons, my favorite con, Gen Con, I actually won an award 2 years in a row. One was like a best in show, and the other was like basically the equivalent of Miss Congeniality. And then the year after, I got denied from the show. And it's because it's a different jury every year. So you never know if maybe your art is just not someone's, taste. And you kind of have to accept that. So never get too confident with going into cons, or if you've done one a previous year, it doesn't automatically mean you're a lock for the next year then. So, never take things for granted, I guess is kind of the lesson there.
Oh, Tigil says, because I'm a homeowner now, I painted a door in my house with chalk paint, so people visiting can draw on it. You are both officially invited to visit and sketch on my door.
Tigil, that sounds awesome.
Well,
we wanted to go to Scotland last year, in 2020, but obviously that got canceled.
Yeah, that got canceled pretty quickly.
I don't know when we'll be able to international travel again, especially with all the craziness happening overseas right now. But we'll see. Hopefully one day we can make it out there, because I really do love Europe. It's great.
Love to see it, Tigil. Actually, a lot of y'all are in Europe too.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do want to do a convention. We were thinking we probably would do a convention. We like our way to pay for the trip in a way. It's like London I know there's like London Comic Cons. I'm sure there's anime cons too over there that we don't even know about.
Well, I wanted to do Paris Comic Con, and that was in 2020, but obviously we couldn't.
Yeah, that didn't work out. Catalina Dragon Con Atlanta. That is the one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun show. Emily says, have him in pants with suspenders, but his tummy transparent, so you can see the coins inside and slot on back.
I mean, it would be interesting to have it be like a legit hollow body. Little tricky on a rendering. I'll try it with the head. If I can make it look see-through enough, I'll do the body as well. But that's definitely going to take a little bit of focus here.
Ella says maybe a tattoo of a number inside his ear that makes it seem like he's not the only one who's had dealings with the witch.
She's just a bunch of pig wanderers throughout the land. I mean, this almost feels like a video game where like the only merchants in the world are these traveling pigs, and each of them have been cursed by a witch. So whenever you enter a new town or a new city, there'd be a traveling pig. You just got to find him. That would be interesting.
Hello, Regina. Hi. Drea says there's bronze pigs too. I don't think I've ever seen a bronze piggy bank. That's kind of cool. Ooh. Look at these old bronze piggy banks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he could be bronze.
I guess he wouldn't break those easily then. Because I don't think bronze is as, like, fragile.
I don't know if I want to do him see-through. Well, maybe. I don't know. Let me play with it still. 'Cause sometimes doing things that are see-through, there's a lot of rendering elements that are at play, and it can get visually noisy very quickly. Yeah, I think I'm going to not do, now that I'm thinking about it, because I think think that would be too time consuming for this stream.
I mean, definitely ideas for the trolley still, because I feel like we need fun things on the trolley.
Yeah, I'm just focusing on the face just for a second because I feel like when I have a good face kind of rendered out, the rest I feel more confident doing because at least we got a good face. Because when you're doing character concept art or even creature concept art like this, that's going to be your selling point.
Felix asks, how much do you have to invest in a convention like Dragon Con to even be able to exhibit?
So usually you got to list out your expenses. We have a spreadsheet that will not only list everything, but it'll kind of tally it all together so you know exactly how much that con was for you. So for Dragon Con, you got to think of your flights, parking, baggage fees, your hotel and or Airbnb, the lifts to and from the hotel if it's too far to walk, and then the things at the con. I sometimes include food, but then I usually pay for an assistant, which is usually Josh. That also is an expense. And then the booth itself is usually expensive. Dragon Con is usually, depending on the size of the booth, between like 400 and 1,500, depending on where you are and how big of a booth you want. So yeah, I mean, it definitely adds up, and you want to make sure that when you're doing cons, I would say do local ones first. I think you can learn so much from doing cons, but you don't want to just be wasting a bunch of money if you were like just starting out in the con scene. I think cons that you have to fly halfway across the country or even the world, maybe not the best start, because you don't want to get discouraged either. I'm seeing way too many people nowadays that are like younger artists, and they want to get into cons, and then immediately they're like discouraged. And I think a lot of that has to do with comparing negatively. So if you have friends that are also doing cons and they're doing, you know, more numbers than you are, rather than getting bitter about it, just, you know, ask them like, what advice can you give me? Like, what can I be doing better on my own booth? And yeah, I think that would be the best way to go about it. But yeah, cons are, if you do it right, if you do like a local one, it shouldn't cost you more than like $500 to $1,000, I would say. And that's like a bigger show. And if you're doing a smaller one, booths can even be as cheap as like $100 for some of them. Oh, yeah. So I wouldn't expect the biggest return, but they're easier to get into and they're usually far cheaper.
I think, yeah, driving to the convention's easier too, because if you're local still, if you feel like you forgot something, can you grab something, it's so much easier doing it in a place you know, especially first timing a convention.
Mm-hmm.
Samantha asked, any tips on how to start up and join a first convention? Like how many prints, original art, and stickers to sell?
So it kind of goes back to if you're just starting out, don't invest too much money into it. So for your prints, I wouldn't do more than like 10 each because that print might be a dud and you might not sell any. So if you can manage to sacrifice whatever capital you put into to invest in the prints, then that's what I would do. I've seen some people literally print like 50 thinking that was standard, and then they sold maybe 2, maybe 3, and then they're like stuck with this print that they'll just keep bringing to cons that will just not sell. And at some point, I think you have to be honest with yourself and like, is this holding me back? Is this making my booth look worse by even having this on the booth, especially if you're creating new art and some of that old art that you had is starting to kind of weigh the overall quality down. Oh, I do not want to make it look like he's smiling.
He's not happy about
this. Yeah, I was like, this is not a career he wanted to get into. So I would say like, 10. I would say for smaller cons too, you probably won't be selling that many originals. I would save them for the ones that are a little bigger, a little more worthwhile. So your New York Comic Cons, your Dragon Cons, your Gen Cons, those are the ones where there'll be an audience looking to buy originals. So that's where I think you should wait and save them for. But something that I have learned recently is you don't have to diversify as much as you might think in terms of product. I have a friend, Devin, where she pretty much only does prints and then like metal prints. And that's it. And she does really well at shows. So don't think that you have to have 100 different products to sell well at shows. Oftentimes people like con booths that have a very specific selected approach to their booth, because then it's easier for them to figure out what they want. So yeah, don't feel like you have to have a bunch of pins and notebooks and journals and tote bags and what are those things called? Playmats. Try to find what fits your niche and keep within that world, because I think people can usually tell when you're doing something where it feels just more like money making, and that never feels super great. And I've done it before, so like I'm not immune to it either.
Game Time says, my first time here. Hello. Welcome, Game Time.
Welcome.
Yeah. Drea says, I live in Tennessee. Antique malls are common as churches here. I'll get all the little picky pinks. They're really cute. I just don't honestly, I give all my change to Tim. Because you like have your little jar you keep of all your change.
I used to have a piggy bank growing up.
I know, I actually had one too. Mine was like a pink porcelain one though.
Mm.
But I remember I took Tim to Dollywood after Dragon Con last year, and we drove through Tennessee, and yeah, we saw like an antique mall every mile, less than that even. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Driving through the mountains.
That was
Tennessee's
cool, though.
so pretty though. Luisa says, hi, I'm a bit late, but glad to be here. I love your drawing style so much.
Well, thank you. I know today's a little darker, a little more strange, but yeah, sometimes you go in that direction. You can thank Tijol. He's the one that paid for the pig.
Luisa says, I'm a bit late, but Elena says, got to head off to watch a charity stream, but can't wait to see where this drawing takes you.
Yeah,
Good
same.
to see you, Elena. Game Time says, do you like drawing Minecraft?
Drawing Minecraft?
Yeah.
I have never drawn Minecraft.
Do you ever do fan art like when you were younger of Minecraft or no?
Yeah, you guys got to remember, I didn't have Minecraft till I was in college. So like,
oh my god, is that when it came out? No.
it came out before, well, kind of.
I feel like I was 14 when I started playing it. 14 or 15. Maybe not though.
I'd have to Google it. I don't know when Minecraft came out.
Isn't that old? It was 2011. Oh my god, I was 18.
Yeah, because I remember I graduated 2011, so I was out of college technically.
Weird.
So yeah, I'm older. So Minecraft, I mean, I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I loved Minecraft, but I think at that age I was too much into like my career and doing original work. Oh no, actually, that would be my early days. So yeah, I was doing fan art, but I was playing more League of Legends. So that's what I was. If I was doing fan art, it probably was for League. Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird though. I played a lot of Minecraft. One of my little internet friends at the time, we would play Minecraft till like 3 a.m. and then we'd fall asleep on our microphones. This is like when my parents would be out of town, and then we'd wake up and go back to Minecraft right away.
Mm-hmm.
We'd sleep in our little Minecraft home too. It was cute.
Okay, this might sound a little morbid, but I think I finally figured out the block that's around his head. So imagine if the witch just has a bunch of animal heads in her house. It's like severed heads. So then literally if she puts the head in the board over your head, it's like the spell of it transforms in the rest of your body.
What in the name of Saw is this, Tim? That is a Saw contraption. So you're saying that little thing, if it doesn't happen in time, it just chops his head right off?
No.
Oh, I thought that was like the Saw
So
traps.
imagine this was on her wall. You know how some people have animal heads on their wall?
Oh, it does sever his head off.
No.
That is so Saw.
Oh my gosh, you are not listening.
Okay.
So the head is hollow, but she keeps it on her wall. But if there's like a hole in the back, hold on. So if like the pig is facing this way.
Visual examples, please.
So here's the ears. So there's nothing here. So if she shoves your human head in it, that's what transforms the rest of your body.
Oh, okay. Oh, I completely misunderstood that first. Yeah.
I might make this a little slimmer on this side.
I mean, kind of terrifying, though.
Oh, yeah. No, this is definitely a more morbid character. Once again, thanks to Joel.
Sangel says, hi from Mexico. You're the best. Well,
oh, thank you. Hello, hello.
Tigil says, this is great. I'm relating to Pidgel very much. Our lives seem very similar. Jen says, hello, I'm late. Also, what are we doing today?
So it's a drawn together stream where essentially at the beginning we had people throw ideas and we were kind of giving more weight to our YouTube members, but then Tigil literally paid money to see a pig be like one of the main concepts. So that is where we are at. So it's basically turned into this whole story of this pig being turned into, or he once was a man, turned into a pig. Now he's a merchant. He's going around this fantasy world to try to make money back to pay off his debt to the witch, whatever that is. So he's a living piggy bank. He's finding random crap in the world to sell to try to barter off on people. It's a very weird story, but I could see this in a dark fantasy video game of just every new village you go into, you'd have to find the random wandering pig.
Tigil says, I played Minecraft since it came out in 2011 or something. I feel so older now. Right? That's what I had, the weird, like... I actually thought I was younger when I started playing it, but maybe I did play the beta or something? I don't know, maybe the beta was out longer. Yeah, Drea says I played the beta in high school. I'm almost 29. Ella, I never played Minecraft, but Howers was the crap for me, teenage me. Also, kind of what made me interested in digital art to begin with. I always thought the Endermen were kind of creepy.
Enderman?
Endermen, yeah. Those always scared me.
Oh yeah, they were definitely creepy.
Drea says, okay, you guys are reminding me of Devi from the King Killer Chronicles. I don't know if I know who that is.
I don't know that either.
Wait, the character? The little pig guy?
I have no idea.
Lisa says, I wanted to ask if you have any advice for college. I've been in a course for the last months to prepare for the art college, but I'm still afraid that I won't make it into the college.
Okay, I mean, that's fair. It's weird because I have such a strange perspective about art school because I personally don't think you really need it anymore, especially with the way the industry is going. If you can build a strong portfolio outside of school, you can still get a job. And this goes back to when I was offered a job at Pixar. This is years ago, but it was the Canadian one. I didn't want to have to move, or their Canadian base. I didn't want to have to move. But the only thing they asked me for was my portfolio. They didn't ask for my transcripts or any type of proof that I went to college. And to me, that was like mind-blowing because I grew up with the notion of if you want to get a job, you have to go to college. So that was completely destroyed that day. But I will say, if you are young and you feel like having structure is good for you and you like kind of having that path given to you of, okay, you start here and then if you follow these steps, you'll make it further and then you'll have the portfolio review, whatever it is that you like about art school. And if you think that you kind of need that presence of other artists around you to like move forward, then yeah, I think I would highly recommend it. But I wouldn't go to school thinking that is what's going to get you your job in the industry, because I think that would be kind of a lie. But okay, if we're talking, if you're kind of set that you're for sure going to school, when you're building your portfolio, try to also put yourself in it a lot. I think what a lot of schools are looking for, I mean, it's weird because in America, I feel like they'll just accept you if you're just paying money, because that's kind of the way the institutions have become over here. But it sounds like you're doing it overseas, and they're probably a little bit more careful with their selection process in terms of not just accepting everyone. Try to build a portfolio that you feel confident in, have it be clean, and try to show a lot of promise in your ambition. Oh, well, thank you. Color me a pink monkey for subscribing.
Oh.
Actually, I'm going to move that back over to the left side. There we go. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what... I think a lot can come through the way you talk about yourself in your application. So make it sound like you are ambitious. I mean, make sure you're not lying. Like, I'm assuming that you're a very ambitious person. But try to have that come across in the way that you write to them too. Like, I am so excited to come to the school. I'm ready to get to work and learn whatever you have to teach me. Give them the best version of yourself
It's
possible.
like a job interview.
Kind of, yeah.
This company is amazing.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Tigil, oh no, if you say it like that, I look so snobbish. I paid money to get my way over people voting.
Yeah, no, I'm messing with you.
I just wanted the voice to say pig, 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 pig.
I mean, the fun thing about these streams, I don't have a clear, like, it has to go this way anyways, so I don't know. The fact that we're doing a pig doesn't bother me at all.
Oh, so you've not drawn a pig in a bit.
Yeah, it's been a
Plus,
a
this
minute.
is like a dark, creepy pig.
Yeah, it's definitely a subject matter I don't do outside of October very often. I would say I definitely save a lot of the more spooky stuff for my Halloween drawings.
I mean, to make him even more terrifying, I'm guessing he can't talk. He's just like a hollow, like the mind's there, but nothing else can be like.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I mean, that's terrifying though.
Well, I like the idea that he can still cry, so it's just like these tears.
Oh my god, Tim.
And it's kind of soiling in the wood.
Oh my god. Yeah, I came into this being like, we're gonna draw this really cute.
I know poor Oscar was like, can you draw, what was it, beautiful people, flowers, and butterflies? And then this is what we're drawing today.
He could sell a flower bouquet. A little bouquet of flowers,
Just dead flowers.
What do
Living piggy bank.
Living piggy bank.
All right, time to draw his little cart.
Oh my god. Jen says, please accept my application or I will die.
Oh, well, thank you, Sangel.
There you have your motivational application.
Oh.
Essentially what you're doing. No.
I mean, definitely an extreme tactic, but I wouldn't be super surprised if it works.
Oh, Angel subscribed.
I might give him kind of human hands. I gotta think about this for a second.
Oscar, I was in such a lovey-dovey mood, and then I get this morbid, sad stray pig. Sad story pig. I kind of agree, Oscar. I was coming to this too, being like, we're gonna make a really cute.
That's the thing with these streams. You never know what the drawn together streams are gonna create.
Well, wasn't Collector a drawn together kind of one too?
Mm-hmm.
Also,
well, that
morbid.
one I went in though wanting to draw a lot of hands, but the story then definitely came about because of everyone that came to that one. But like, I didn't come into this stream being like, I'm gonna draw scary pig. I literally thought I was gonna be drawing something springtime related. But I do like challenging myself and thinking in more than just like the pretty fantasy. And I definitely love a good macabre interpretation. That's why I love Halloween. And I think a lot of scary stuff usually lends itself to have more texture-based creation. So when I'm doing my textures, when I'm drawing, I can really kind of over-texture it almost. So it has like more rust, more wear and tear. And I'm usually a big fan of that, at least with the pencil side of things. Creatively, it can be a little bit of a challenge, but a good one.
Louisa says, I'm really looking forward to study. I want to study communication design. Thank you for your opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Drea said, this is why I love Tim's Mine. Pretty boys and sparkly gold, and cursed pigs who cry.
Yeah. I do love playing both ends of the spectrum. And I think it would make me really sad if I got pigeonholed into doing only one thing all the time.
Oh, God, you would be not in a good mood about that.
I would, no.
Yeah.
What are these called?
I feel like that's a nightmare you have, honestly.
If I only had to draw like pretty fantasy girls with flowing hair and flowers all the time, I don't even think I'd be an artist anymore. I think I would feel so horrible about myself.
You would feel like this quit. Pig. You'd feel hollow,
crying,
lifeless, with tears.
All right, this is definitely gonna be the challenge of the day because I am not a hard surface type drawer. So then drawing like physical structured things in a 3D space usually take me a second.
Jen says, have you seen the art of the Guardians of Childhood books? It is a book series with Jack Frost, Santa Claus, and the Easter Bunny as characters.
Oh, I only saw the movie.
Do they make like a...
I think it's based off a book.
I feel like I saw this recently, and I had no idea that it was even out. Oh, they made a book series off of... And they made them on each... What? I loved Guardians of the... Oh my god. The first thing I pulled up was under a news site. Okay, hang on. Tim, look at these. Do you know about these? They made one for Sandman even.
Oh, I know actually William Joyce. Or I know him as Bill Joyce.
I had no idea they made books off... It's like a book off each character.
I mean, the level of surprise you have is surprising. Because I'm like, of course, any animation studio is going to like merch their stuff out as much as possible.
I didn't know this.
I'd be more surprised if a movie that came out that was an animated movie didn't have like an accompanying book series and sticker book and all that stuff.
These are really cute.
That Bill Joyce picture of Jack Frost I actually have. That's the one downstairs on the black thing. All right, let's draw this card.
Luisa says the college said they wouldn't want fantasy characters in the portfolio. That's literally what I draw most.
Oh, you're going to like an atelier or like a actual art school. I know Miles talked about this a little bit. Miles Johnson, Miles Art on Instagram, where it's very like fine art. And I think if you're going into more concept art design, I don't know necessarily if an atelier is the best place for you to go to. Maybe. I mean, obviously we've seen artists that do really well and they move on and still get in the concept art world. But I feel like a lot of the times when you're going to an art college that's specifically art, I feel like a lot of the times they're not really looking to teach you the fantasy stuff. They're more focused on making sure that you can draw hyperrealism, things in perspective, and then take it there into like abstract fine art design. So yeah, I personally wouldn't want to apply to a school like that, but I can understand why they have such good reputations, is because usually the quality of art is really great, but they're not really teaching creativity as much, in my opinion, as they are the structured technical side of art.
Are there schools that are more focused on fantasy, or most art schools going to be getting the
I feel like technically you
more
kind of have to go to
realism?
a game art school, so like game art and
Oh,
design school. Because most art schools are going to teach you the principles of art, which is usually like composition and form, value, life drawing. I mean, they'll still have life drawing in a fantasy school too. I personally, not for me as much. I probably could have learned a lot from it, and I probably would have better proportions on things for sure. But I liked being around other creative weirdos that their main inspiration for doing art was like watching Ghibli movies as a kid, and those are the type of people I like to surround myself with. And I've been around the art world a little bit, like the finer art world. It's okay, not my cup of tea, we'll just say. Uh, but I still hope you get in because, like I said, you can still learn a lot from a normal art school as well that can be applied to your fantasy then stuff. And honestly, they can probably teach a lot more quality in terms of structure. Digital, I can let you guys on it. We just restarted a new world. What are they talking
we're
about?
talking about Minecraft, Tim.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Behind your back.
I know it's weird. I've been playing a video game again. I restarted Elden Ring.
Oh, wait, Tim's playing a Souls game. It's still weird.
Yeah, which I never thought I would be playing a From Software or whatever they call it game. But I really like it. I really, 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 really like it. Controls are a bit clunky, but the aesthetic and the boss designs are just so good.
Well, Tim was playing on the PlayStation, but I play on my computer. So you actually got it on your computer now, so that I can actually just go in, help Tim kill a boss, and then he can just keep running around exploring.
Because I don't know if anyone else plays these games like I do, but I literally could care less about like fighting bosses or like weapons or all that. I get like 0% satisfaction from that. For me, it's just like wandering and like finding flowers. I really like crafting, and it's been funny because every person I've talked to about crafting makes it seem like they don't even know about it. And I've taught Josh, I taught Justin when he came over the cotton boots. They didn't even know that was a thing, but that's like one of the first crafts you learn. I'm like, how? That's like one of the best ones.
I mean, there's a spell you can get that does the same thing eventually, but
Well, eventually.
I do like the cotton boots. Tim sold me on the cotton boots quite a lot.
Oh my god, this cart.
It's cute.
I'm not super great at structure stuff if I don't have a good reference. I mean, usually what I know a lot of 3D artists will do, especially digital artists, they'll like do it in 3D and then paint over. But since I'm trying to do this blind, you know what? I think I'm making it too big. I think I'm making it too serious. I'll kind of keep it like our original thumbnail, where it's like this little cart that he pushes around.
Goodbye, cart.
Goodbye, cart. Also a good lesson in not kind of committing to something if you're not feeling it. Just you gotta erase it. Start over.
Jen says, I'm kind of imagining him sounding like Leatherface, but in a sad and pathetic way.
Oh. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Leatherface makes those like squealy kind of sounds sometimes. Is Casper still over there?
Mm-mm.
Trying to think anything else that we did. Oh, we watched Truman Show.
Oh yeah, so I know last week maybe it might have been a week before that. We were talking about Truman Show, and yeah, last night I showed Josh it, and it's funny watching it now that I'm older, because the last time I saw it I was in high school or even maybe college, but it's been a while. You pick up a lot more on the background elements of things, and that was kind of cool to pick up on, because I think I'm someone that really looks at the whole scene of a movie, and sometimes that is to my advantage, but sometimes I'll like pick things out. Like if there's ever a clock visible in a scene, I can't not watch it to make sure that it's consistent in the world.
Tim will pick up things in movies sometimes that... What was the one in The fridge in Batman was obvious, but there's another one you picked up on that was like...
Oh, so in the new
it
Batman
was-
movie, don't worry, this isn't a spoiler, but there's contacts that are like cameras, essentially, like high-tech
Oh,
cameras.
that's right.
And there's one point where she's talking to Batman, so Batman can see it on his computer because it's a camcorder. And as she goes to take them out because she gets frustrated with him, the contacts come out, but you don't see the hand come toward her eyeball to take the contact out. But you see it in the mirror because she was talking in a mirror. So you see the contact like come out, but you don't see her hand. It was just one of those things where I'm like, how is no one on set? And then there's, I mean, those are just more consistency errors. But when things also take me out of a movie because they're unbelievable, even in the world that they're trying to sell me. So even in fantastical worlds, I can play along, but it has to make sense in that world. So in the Batman, there's one point where a bomb goes off. I won't say anything about spoilers, but essentially there was a character right in front of the bomb, and it goes off. I'll just say someone basically dies horrifically from the bomb, but the person that was right in front of the bomb, nothing. Not even like a singe on the face or like a cut, just nothing. I'm like, what? Because then I'll be thinking about that for the rest of the movie of that person that had no damage. Are they like near invincible?
But it's something that you'll pick up, like, you're watching Euphoria, and there's a scene with one of the characters' cat, and Tim was, like, picking up the necklace.
Kept flipping.
Yeah.
Because it's a chain necklace that's supposed to lie flat, but for some reason, in between their takes or whenever they did it, they kept editing footage of her with the chain when it lies flat, and then the next cut to her, the chain would be, like, lift up and upside down. So it's very obvious. Once you see it, it's like, you can't unsee it. And the cuts were so quick that it wasn't like she was playing with her necklace or you could just blame time passing. It would be like within 5 seconds, they would do a cut to her, the boyfriend, then back to her. And the chain, her hands were on the table the whole time. I'm like, how is there no one on set? And I think it's just become a little sloppy in general in the movie industry. And I think the best example has been Game of Thrones with the Starbucks cup.
Oh, yeah.
There is zero excuse that no one on set saw it, no one in the editing room saw it, and then no one in the final testing saw it. They need more people catching up on these things because it really takes you out of a scene when you see kind of sloppy, I don't even know how to describe it. It just feels like there was a lack of attendance to the scene, which I think sometimes can bother me heavily when I'm watching anything.
You can pick up on those things really quickly. But yeah, I like Truman Show actually a lot. It wasn't
Truman Show's
like
great.
Yeah, it wasn't amazing, but I thought it was a fun watch, and the story was interesting. Emily says it's important when looking at art schools if they expect students to be financially successful or not. Some of these places giving fine art degrees don't expect their students to make money.
That's very true too.
Can't you actually look at a school's statistics or whatever? Because don't they report on students that graduate what they can do
but
with
are you
their
ready
degrees?
for this? So
Oh no.
so the school I went to, the Art Institute in Schaumburg, they actually got shut down for fraud because they were reporting a 91% placement. I know it was in the 90s. It might have been higher than 91, but it was something where my parents, having zero idea about the art world or like video game world, was like, well, at least this school has such a high placement that I don't have to worry about my son going into this. It came out that they were reporting if you work at GameStop or if you work at the Target electronics section, that counts as working in the industry.
Oh my god.
So they would include that in their percentage. Thankfully, they got caught, and thankfully they were found guilty because that is super misleading.
Yeah, that is really misleading.
That's really bad. So I agree with what they were saying about you got to be really careful because a lot of these schools don't even care necessarily if you make money. They just want your money up front, you know.
Yeah, I think they should be honest about any industry because I think there's a risk with any industry you get into, you know, getting a job. But you want to know what are my chances, I guess, and what's the plausibility of it being something.
Well, a
So if they're
realistic
misleading people,
expectation.
that's messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rueden Island says having an internal struggle between watching this live or Euphoria. As long as it's not season 2 of Euphoria.
I mean, you can watch season 2. I think there's parts that I didn't really care for that much, but I really love episode 1, 3, and 5. I would say 1 and 5 being the best. But the first season of V4 I think is amazing. I really, 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 really enjoy the first season. Oh, I gotta get away from this head. I feel like I know I have to do the cart, and I keep scooting away from it because I know I just don't want to do the cart.
Ella says worse than that is in the Umbrella Academy. They have one actor who's meant to speak Swedish in one scene, and I don't know what they did, but it sounds like she's speaking in reverse.
Oh, so it's not like it's understandable.
Summoning a demon in Swedish.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I actually haven't. I saw the first 3 episodes of Umbrella Academy. It wasn't bad, by my opinion, but it didn't like captivate me enough to like continue watching. But yeah, I can't actually have a formal opinion on it because I didn't see enough of it.
Oh, Felix recommended The Blue Period also. Didn't Deandra?
Oh yeah, so our roommate Deandra is watching The Blue Period. I know it's supposed to be like an anime about an artist, like art school possibly, I think. Yeah, it keeps popping up on my like Netflix recommended for you. So possibly. The devil's fine print right there. It's so misleading. That's so bad.
I started watching STH. I don't know what that is.
Who is this?
Light Lolliot. Started watching STH and it feels like I'm alone in the fandom, no one to cry with. STH.
I don't know if I know what that is.
I know what that is, yeah. Rueden says Euphoria is super oppressive, but yet I'm hooked. I like dark series.
Well, the first seasons, I wouldn't say lighthearted necessarily, but I definitely think it had a fun and a mood to it that the second season's definitely more serious and more moody, we'll say.
Ella says I gotta go eat dinner. Enjoy the rest of the stream.
Bye, Ella. Ella. Thanks again for the wonderful emote that you gave us. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorites.
I liked season 1 a lot. I mean, season 2, I don't think I could say was awful, but I thought the second half I didn't enjoy as much.
I think like objectively, there's good lighting and there's some good composition, but I was not a fan of the writing almost at all at parts where it really took me out more than the first season. Or the first season I thought was pretty great. And honestly, the times where it got a little too heavy, so specifically with Nate, the character Nate in the show, that's the parts I was like, not my favorite. But I feel like they brought most of that energy into season 2, where it was like a little intense, a little Riverdale energy, if you guys know what I mean, where it feels like over dramatic for the sake of being over dramatic.
Jen says, "Did you read my comment about our flag means death? I must have missed it. Let me scroll."
Josh, English in comments.
There's a lot of comments going on today. Have you seen the new show Our Flag Means Death? It is a queer pirate show produced by Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. He's the one that directed JoJo's Rabbit.
Oh.
I saw the trailer for it. I haven't watched it yet. Usually, comedy isn't my first go-to, but I will check it out because I do like him a lot.
Oh my god, I love JoJo's.
Well, I think correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Was he one of the main makers of What We Do in the Shadows? I feel like I remember that being his. I don't know if he was just a star in it or if he was like one of the ones that helped write it.
Oh, I forgot because he played Hitler on Jojo Rabbit. That's right.
Well, that one was weird because I'm pretty sure he directed it too.
Yeah. Yeah, he did What We Do in the Shadows.
Starred in or directed?
Yeah, he was a director. And he starred in it.
Okay. That makes sense then.
That must be his like thing is. Yeah, I thought Jojo Rabbit was funny, emotional. It was a perfect mix of everything.
Yeah, I really like JoJo's.
Did you remember? Let's see. Light Lolly it says, and it's called Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I also haven't watched a lot of sci-fi, admittedly. I would say my camp is definitely more fantasy if I'm going for fiction. I really like a good drama, though, or like a crime series. But yeah, sci-fi I'm usually not super into. But I have been surprised. Like the movie Moon, I absolutely adore.
Oh yeah, Moon was good.
I really liked Ad Astra a couple years ago.
Interstellar or no?
Interstellar I liked.
Yeah.
There's been a few like modern Sunshine I really like, and Ex Machina I really liked. So like weirdly, there's been a lot. Annihilation I really liked. I would say modern sci-fi I've been super into, but also I do appreciate the old Star Wars movies. But I think there has to be an element of like cleverness to them that I really like. Like the new Dune was good, but like nothing that I would recommend. Like there's some fun sound editing for sure, but story-wise, it's pretty cut and dry. You kind of know what you're getting into, but when you watch a movie like Moon or Ad Astra or Sunshine or Ex Machina, I think there's a lot of those elements of surprise where you don't know exactly what's going to happen next. Where Dune, it felt like, you know, a story that you've kind of already heard before, which is fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that either. But I think for it to really captivate me, it's got to be something kind of new.
Speaking of Ex Machina, do you know the director's making a new A24
I know.
Oh, you saw it this morning?
Well, I will not watch any trailer. So if the
Okay.
trailer came out, I haven't seen it.
Well, and it's starring the actress that was in the I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Oh, I know what it's called. Man.
Yeah, man.
Yes. So I didn't realize it was
Or
him,
Men.
the director. I watched the first like 20 seconds and then I stopped it because I knew I was going to watch it. I actually didn't know that was his movie. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's his, right? So it'll be interesting. I did watch the trailer, but I'm not going to say anything.
Don't say anything. I'm one of those people who I think trailers ruin things, honestly, nowadays.
I'll be honest, because I was doing the whole watch trailer thing with you for a bit there. I think it was getting us into trouble because then we were going to movies and some of them were just like, we had some good experiences.
No, I totally disagree.
The last few that we did that though, I feel like it's been a little rough.
Yeah, but I would like the Batman. I wasn't gonna be probably super into anyways because I'm not a big superhero movie fan to begin with.
I guess. I mean, yeah, that was 3 hours though. We're not like 2-minute walk out in movie kind of people either. But it is hard when it's a 3 hour.
I would not have walked out on Batman. It was not bad.
No, I wasn't gonna say I'm gonna walk out, but 3 hours was really long though.
I'm okay with long movies. I think if they're captivating and they can justify their runtime, I'm okay with long movies.
I wrote that.
Batman, though, I will admit, I'm sorry if someone here liked the Batman a lot. I don't think it justified its runtime. I think they could have shaved off a half hour like very easily, and I don't think it would have changed much about the experience.
So it's it says though the thing is an anime. Yeah, I don't know if I've heard of that one. Have you seen Dune?
Yes. Admittedly, I think there's a lot that for me for Dune because you should watch a documentary called Jodorowsky's Dune, where it's one of my favorite directors. Jodorowsky directed like Holy Mountain, and he's done some weird ones. Like El Topo was kind of weird, but still good, very original. But the documentary talks about how he was going to make Dune, and he was going to hire like Dolly as the mad sorcerer, and Bowie was going to be in it, and it was like this crazy idea. But he brought in a lot of these artists. If you guys know H.R. Geiger, or Giger, the guy that did the alien designs, he initially did a lot of his designs for Dune. So Jodorowsky kind of found him first, and then a lot of because the movie was never made because it was too ambitious and it was too crazy, a lot of those designs that were meant to go to Dune got kind of carried over into Aliens. So specifically like the necromorph design. Xenomorph, sorry. And I wish I could have seen that version of Dune because it was very strange and colorful and peculiar, where I think the one we got now kind of fits into a lot of modern movies nowadays, which it's very sleek, it's very clean, but I feel like it lacks a little bit of personality for me. And it could just be because I am such a fan of, especially when it comes to like fantastical worlds, I like them to feel fantastical, not like, oh, there's an element here, there's an element there. Because when it becomes too close to realism, I think then I start to hyperjudge it a little too much, because then the designs, like the, what are those spaceships? The Dragonfly ones, they feel a little out of place. Or at least for me, they felt a little strange. But that could just be me.
Maybe the new Dune did kind of feel, I don't know why, but it felt like a fancy car. Where it's like, it's really expensive and you could tell it is, but it feels like it has no character. It just is like an expensive car.
It's got to roll in the mud a little bit first.
Yeah. Oh, Dolly was going to be in it.
Dolly?
Like Dolly Parton? The old one. You're saying the...
Dolly. D-A-L-I, the artist.
Oh. I thought Dolly Parton was going to star in it. I was like, oh my God.
Salvador Dali.
I would have watched that in a heartbeat. She started singing. Emily says, the slow pace of the Batman ruins its rewatchability.
Well, I was talking with some of my friends. Okay, hot take. I think when it comes to Batman, I'm not a big superhero movie in general fan, but I loved the old Batmans from Tim Burton, specifically Batman Returns, the one with Catwoman and Penguin. I think that one's just excellent. It's like borderline cheesy, but it's such a good... For me, it's almost a satire on what superhero movies are, and that one did it so well. And I think Danny Elfman, the composer, I think it's his best work besides Edward Scissorhands. So me watching that movie was phenomenal. But then watching the Batman, the pacing mixed with it being kind of a joyless experience. It's like a 3-hour movie without any jokes, really. There's like a couple, maybe. But the biggest issue I have, I like Robert Pattinson a lot as an actor, but when I watch a Batman movie, I think you have to see 3 sides of Batman. 1 being Bruce Wayne in the public eye, 2 being who he is on the streets as actual Batman, and then 3, him with Alfred in the Batcave or at the mansion. And all 3 should be pretty distinct from one another. And I think you see it with some of the older Batman movies where when he has to be like the philanthropist son of the rich parents, it's more like optimistic and very well spoken, and there's like a different air quality to him than when he is like the serious Batman. But then when he's back at the mansion, I think he can be more open with the butler, and there's more of a back and forth. But in the new one, he's the same note playing all 3. And I think that, to me, took away a little bit of the range that he could have had, because I know Robert has range. I've seen him in Good Time. I saw him in Lighthouse. Yeah. So, like, I know he can, but that could have been the director, not so much on him.
But, I mean, maybe that's why, but even all the characters kind of had, like, very one-note personalities. Basically, everyone in the movie did. Besides maybe the villain, I guess. But even him was still one note. That's why I think shows like Euphoria stick out, because they feel like characters you can relate to, because they do... Their personality changes who they're talking to, who they're around. Which to me is a very human thing. Like, our personality's not always just going to be
yeah,
one
kind
thing.
of.
Yeah.
I do think the Penguin had a really good range. I think Colin Farrell killed it.
Oh my God. I always forget that was Colin Farrell, though.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't understand. It's crazy to me that they did that much prosthetics on him.
I know. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the new Batman movie, if you Google the Penguin, the new Penguin, I mean, it does not look like Colin Farrell at all, but he did a great job getting lost in that makeup. That to me is like a good example of makeup enhancing an actor's portrayal of whatever character they are. Because he gets totally lost in that and he feels like a different person entirely.
Zachary says trailers do ruin movies.
Agreed.
I like to predict and speculate what's going to happen, or could, and it just gives it away. Even comedies tend to just give the best jokes. Oh, I hate when comedy trailers do that, yeah. They're like, let's just hand out every single one of our big, I don't know.
Yeah?
Big moments. I will say, Minari, was that the one, right? That movie trailer gave away the entire movie. When I watched the trailer for Men, I don't think it gave away really anything, honestly. But A24 trailers tend to try to be more vague. But Minari wasn't, so I don't know. Because I think that was an A24 one.
Well, there's something that happens at the end of Minari where if you watch the trailer, you're waiting for that moment the entire time.
Everything away.
And I was actually a little disappointed that they put that in the trailer, too.
Felix says, I found Christopher Nolan's Batman horribly boring. I actually fell asleep during Dark Knight Rises.
I hate to also admit it, but I fell asleep during Dark Knight Rises, too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And I don't really have anything against Christopher Nolan. I actually love The Prestige. I think that's one of those movies that really stand out to me. But you also got to remember, I'm not a big superhero movie to begin with fan.
Oh, there we go. My computer zoomed in so far. It was like pixel. A word. It zoomed in on one letter of a word.
Oh.
Jen says, Hollywood approaching an iconic media, fantasy book musicals. How do we ground this so hard that it loses all personality in our shallow attempt at getting an Oscar?
I do feel bad for some industries nowadays because I think even when I look at like Pixar right now, I remember in the early 2000s where they were super about original ideas only. They weren't really going to play the sequel train, and they weren't really about making movies that were just about the merchandise that they could sell after. But I think Disney had its claws in them pretty deep. And then after Cars and a lot of, I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of the merchandise that they were able to sell with the movie Cars is pretty much the reason why Cars 2 even became a thing, because they made so much money off of the merchandise. And kind of the same thing with Toy Story, because they were able to make so much revenue on merchandise that they just had to keep pumping out these movies because Disney is in charge, essentially. So that's why you see all these sequels and stuff from Pixar now, and it just doesn't have that same magic that specifically Pixar once had. And then even watching their latest films like Luca and Turning Red, and what was the other one that we watched that was like... Oh, actually, I liked Soul. I liked Soul. There was one before Soul, though. Inside Out was fine. What was... I feel like there was one in between Inside Out and Soul that I can't think of. And I thought that one was just kind of okay.
I can't remember.
But I feel bad because these companies have gotten so big now where you might have like 300-400 people, maybe even more, I don't know the exact number, working on them. So as soon as they finish a film, you have 400 people that need to get paid a salary. Well, how are you going to pay them if they're not, starting to work on the next one? And normally they have people that, get ready and prep. They have writers starting to work on it even before the previous project is finished. But they don't have that same quality. I know Pixar likes to use that whole napkin story a lot, where they were at that lunch where they thought of Finding Dory, WALL-E, and it was like they came up with a Finding Nemo. They came up, or Monsters, Inc. I don't remember. But they came up with all of them at one lunch. And they were really proud of that. And I still think that's a really cool story. The problem is it doesn't feel like that anymore. And especially watching things like Toy Story 4, you're like, this didn't need to get made.
Yeah.
This felt bad.
It was the fancy car thing again. Where, yeah, there was like no more really personality or heart in it. It was just a fancy, really good looking thing to see, but that was about it.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I just feel bad for people that are really big fans of series. So our friend Corinna loves Star Wars, diehard Star Wars fan. And even she's feeling really burnt out recently from Disney taking over Lucasfilm and just a new thing basically. Every 6 months there's a new either series, movie, or offshoot on it. And she's like, it's too much. And it's sad because, for a company to kill off a fan's enthusiasm that's like a diehard fan, you really have to do a lot to make them feel upset. But then there's some fans that would say, well, then they weren't real fans because more content's always better. But I'm definitely in the camp of I don't think more content is always better. I think sometimes, like, if there was a Spirited Away 2, I think it would cheapen Spirited Away.
Mm. Oh my God, yeah.
Who knows? Maybe the sequel could be amazing, but I just don't think it would be.
I don't think so. And I think that's been the problem is they like want to make sequels and spin-offs. It's kind of like look at Fantastic Beasts right now. It's just not doing well compared to... Because I don't think people really want spin-offs, honestly. Sometimes you want the sanctity of like what it was and don't tarnish it.
Well, people were even upset with the Star Wars, the new trilogy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, a lot of people weren't watching it. I mean, I watched all of them up until the newer ones now because it was rough.
Well, it's funny because I think if you piss off fans enough, a lot of them will walk away. I think the best example was Game of Thrones, where our friend Kat read the books, loves Game of Thrones, would brag about how good it is. Even after I stopped watching it, she would tell me about how I'm missing out, blah, blah, blah. Season 8 comes out, and it destroyed her. And she literally won't rewatch the series because of how bad Season 8 was. I don't even know if she'll finish the books now.
Oh, my God.
So I think you have to be careful with like either rushing projects or undercooking projects that just were not ready to bake fully. I think I don't know a lot about Game of Thrones personally. I watched the first 3 seasons and I saw the last season, but from what I saw, season 8 should have been another season or 2 minimum because it felt like a lot was happening in a very, very short amount of time and there wasn't a lot of payoff. And I read a lot about season 8 because I was so curious at the time. Where a lot of these arcs that characters usually have, it's usually like a bell curve of some kind of an arc. Usually it might be a little higher near like the climatic part of a film. But this one,
it's so disappointing.
It felt like honestly, this was the bell curve, and then it was like this.
My body temperature is going up again.
Thinking of season 8.
It honestly gets me a little angry, and I hate that. But I think it was just, there's so many loose ends, so many stories never wrapped up. Brom, like I'm thinking about all the things that I was kind of curious where they're going with it. Nothing. I mean, they didn't even bring it up ever again.
Yeah, I heard about something with Brom with shape shifting.
Yeah, he found this,
Arya shape shifting.
Yeah, they go to this like mystical land that I think we were all curious about what lies north of the wall. He goes and finds these like magic fairy children's that give him some kind of and then all of a sudden, literally, it never gets brought up again.
Oh,
like it kind of just gets thrown back.
Was there a reason for
any
it?
Like explanation? No, I don't know. There's just like all these loose ends like that though.
Oh,
I actually thought about going back and watching it because I did like the first 3 seasons a lot, but it's kind of like what Kat had. What's the point? The writer's just like, Tijal says Raja. Oh, that's right, Raja. Right?
Raja.
For the Pixar movie you're talking about. Was Raja the one in between?
No, I think you're thinking Raya in The Last Dragon.
Not Raja.
But that was Disney animation.
So that wasn't Pixar.
Because you guys got to remember, there's a difference between Disney and Pixar animation.
Wait,
even though
Zootopia?
Disney owns... No, that's Disney.
Zootopia wasn't Pixar?
Nope.
Oops, okay. Oh, yeah, because Pixar usually does...
I don't know why I'm so like keen on what is Pixar and what's Disney. I'm like really good at it and I don't know why. Like Disney did Encanto, which surprised the hell out of me. If you guys haven't seen that one I actually thought was really good. I was a little nervous with the first song because it's like this really quick, very hard to understand song, but it makes sense in the context watching it the second time. But I was like, oh, great, what am I getting myself into? But then I actually really enjoyed it.
Lisa says, I wish it would be more about creativity and ideas instead of money.
Yes. I think in my mid-20s, I was very smitten with this idea that like Hollywood sucks, there's no originality coming out anymore. But then I just learned you just got to search for it a little harder, which sucks. But if you search for it, there's still like original cool movies being made. You just got to kind of find them. And it just sucks that that's where things have gotten nowadays, where it doesn't feel like there's a soul behind a lot of projects, where there's very much a financial gain and like a dollar sign behind projects. That in some instances, it feels very obvious. And those are the worst. And the worst is when you're sitting in a theater feeling that way, being like, I am just not feeling any of this, and I feel like I was duped out of money. Like, I feel like this project was just for money, and I fell for it.
Just sending on stuff here. Let's see. Rueden says, hey, Tim and Josh. Just jumped
Hello.
into the stream right now, and I hope you're well. Thank you. Doing very good. My question is directed to Tim. Are there any other Netflix series you'd recommend as highly as Queen's Gambit?
Yeah, I was about to say Queen's Gambit.
Netflix series specifically.
Specifically Netflix.
Yeah.
Ooh. See, this is where I'm not great at remembering if it was on Hulu or Apple TV or HBO or
But
Paramount.
if it's Pixar or Disney Animation, Tim's gotcha.
For some reason, I'm really good at that. Oh, God. What series did I watch recently that I thought was actually worth mentioning? You know what? Let me sit on that for a second. Because I've been watching a lot of weird series lately. I watched like the Joe vs. Carol, the Tiger King one. We've been watching The Dropout on Hulu about Elizabeth Holmes and Theranos. I've been watching the Pam and Tommy one.
That's on Netflix, right?
Hulu.
That's on Hulu. Darn.
I feel like I'm watching a lot of these weird docuseries. Oh, we watched, Bad Vegan, but I didn't care for that much at all.
Oh, no, yeah.
That should have definitely been just a documentary. You know when you watch a docuseries that clearly are stretching things, kind of like The Vow, just like there's so much buffer and filler that you're like...
It'll be a good like hour and a half, 2-hour movie.
Yes, Bad Vegan could have easily been an hour and a half documentary and been great for the format. But the story is definitely not that interesting to cover 4.5 hours or whatever it was. That was way too much.
Tiger King?
Yeah, but that was 2020. I mean, I do think Tiger King is incredible, not from the aspect of like the like what happens in it and like, well, kind of. I think it's just such a bizarre, unique film that is so authentic because it was filmed without it thinking it was for this documentary series. It was filmed thinking, or Joe thought it was for this like crazy Tiger King TLC spinoff or whatever network he was trying to get on. So they just had all this footage that was supposed to be meant for this other project, and I've never seen something where every episode it seemed to get crazier and crazier, and it wasn't just like sugar coated. It felt very raw and very like, how can you get any more crazy? And then it does.
Yeah. Jeez. I still can't believe that was real life.
Right? I think about that sometimes.
Jen's a hope. The showrunners of Game of Thrones are hopefully never getting a chance again. Yeah, I know people are like they should go back and redo the last season, but at this
I remember
point,
that petition.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you have to just accept it's just a bad ending. One-Eyed Open says, lovely drawing. What's a book you would recommend for someone that's starting out?
I only have a couple, so
Wait,
I don't
can
read very
suggest one?
often.
Art and Fear.
No.
Okay.
Wait, are you talking about like legit books or like
First-
fantasy books?
No. What is a book you'd recommend for someone that's starting out?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant just like reading.
Oh, no, it wasn't. What's a book? It's for someone starting out.
Oh, then yeah, Art and Fear. It's probably the one that most people recommend, and I get why. It's good, but I think if you're looking for actual like technique stuff, Color and Light by James Gurney is really good, and then Giovanni Savardi does really good life drawing books and like life studies. Yeah, those would be the ones that come to my mind first. So yeah. But if you're looking just for fantasy books, there's this book called Language of Thorns, and it's like a short story book, and every page there's a drawing that grows every page. Loved that book, and the short stories I thought were actually pretty well written. And then the other one is we've been reading, I got Josh into it now, Witch Hat Atelier, and that has been really good.
We actually should do our next chapter today too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't even realize we're already past 2 o'clock. I can tell, like, when the cart came into mind, I was like, oh, I'm not feeling the cart as much. But the pig was pretty fun. I mean, definitely a strange dream subject matter, but I'm glad that we explored it because, like I said, I need to be challenged, and this was definitely a challenge. And you guys got to see it live. So maybe we'll do like 5 more minutes. So if anyone has any last minute questions, definitely ask now. I'm going to do some like quick shading.
Piggy bank. Let's see. Everyone's got their stuff in here. Jen says, I think I remember someone said just how Star Wars was so popular, and he said just make good movies. Definitely the old ones, I would totally agree with that.
Yeah, I actually, as much as I think I'm a little too critical on media, I actually think the old Star Wars are pretty good. Actually, I like the lore a lot. I like this environment, the setting that they created. Yeah, I thought it was pretty fantastic. I think I have good memories associated with like Phantom Menace, but watching it as an adult, I can understand why they're not great. But as a kid, I remember like the pod racing, and I thought Darth Maul was super badass. But then I remember the other 2 that came out after were very political, and just like as a kid, I was just not feeling them as much as the first one.
Any great show should have stopped sooner. Once Upon a Time and The 100, etc. Yeah, if I watch Once Upon a Time is one of my favorite TV shows.
Oh, Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies, yeah, they should never have made season 2. But once the Henry seasons 2, where it was like Henry grown up, I basically only watch I think the first 3 seasons of that show, and then I stop. Let's see. Felix says, I think Coco was really great. I think it had the most interesting storyline out of any recent big animation films.
Oh, I think that was Pixar.
Was that a Pixar one?
Yes.
That was before Soul, right?
Yeah. Same period, yes.
Okay.
Coco I thought was okay. And I just was talking to some of our friends. They just did not care for Moana that much. I thought Moana was fine, but people were not happy with Moana. I do remember it being a little forgettable. Like, I don't remember a lot about the plot. I do remember her being on the boat a lot, but I didn't see Raya, and then we didn't see the other new one.
Raya. Tigil says, I love Encanto. I watched it on loop. It's so good and so much hidden details and meaningful songs. Well done on that one.
Tigil, I feel like we disagree on movies. I'm going to agree with you on this one. I also thoroughly enjoyed Encanto. I think there are a few plot holes if you really think about it, but it's okay because they present it in a very lighthearted, borderline satire way, so like you don't have to take it too seriously anyways, and I thought they did a good job handling that.
Wait, Tigil, do you like, I can't remember, do you like Sucker Punch too? Because I know Tim goes off on me all the time. I love the movie Sucker Punch. Don't even get me to but Tim's best friend Kat loves it, and Tim's like disappointed that we like Sucker Punch.
A little bit.
It's a guilty pleasure.
I think if you can admit it's a guilty pleasure, though, that's different. Because like I can admit 13 Ghosts isn't a great movie.
Yeah,
but
I won't say Sucker Punch
pleasure.
is like amazing, but I actually think it's enjoyable to watch even. So it's I actually enjoy watching it. I've not watched it in a while though, so it's not like
some people will binge the Twilight movies as like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
that's kind of the same wheelhouse I would put Sucker Punch in.
No, I put it a little above that for me.
I agreed.
Yeah,
it's not as bad as Twilight, but still somewhere there, in my opinion.
Moana is not popular in chat either.
Really?
Yeah, Oscar says Moana was super forgettable and flat. And then Felix says Moana literally has no storyline. It could be a short story of like 20 minutes.
Oh, Corey's here too. Hello.
Oh, Corey, hello.
Wow. I think I really liked the beginning part of Moana when she's the baby. I know that was like the trailer part too, but I thought that was really good. But I don't think it captured that level of energy throughout the rest of the film past that point. But I didn't hate it like some people just hate it, which is surprising.
Clouds of Sunset asks, do you have any original characters? I seem to be missing out on it. Everyone has their own OCs, and I feel like I'm not that type of artist.
Yeah, I do. I actually have a book that eventually I want to create called Swordplay. I'm putting it on the back burner until after I do my tarot deck, because I've learned that trying to do a lot of multiple things at the same time just does not work for me. I know there are some artists that can do it, but for me, I can't juggle more than 3. So I have my tarot deck, my Aquatica Nautica, my giant 5-foot drawing upstairs, and then I'm doing another poker deck. Actually, I can show you guys where I'm at with my Queen of Spades. So I'll draw this half, and then I'll scan it, and then I'll just flip it, paste it, so that they stitch together really nicely. So I'm hoping to have her finished before I leave on a retreat, which happens this Friday. Actually, I'm glad I brought that up because we won't be streaming next week. I will be in Ohio, so unfortunately, we will not be having the stream next week, but we will definitely be coming back the week after. So don't come here next week. We won't be here.
Tigil, you guys seriously creep me out right now. I do watch Twilight as a very guilty pleasure. Don't worry, I do too, Tigil.
So does Josh.
Yeah, it's so good. I know it's crap, but for some reason I keep watching, and I watched Sucker Punch literally yesterday. You guys bug in my house?
Oh, weird.
Those aren't my magazines, I swear. Tigil, what are you hiding? That is actually really weird, but I had a vibe. I got a vibe that you watched Sucker Punch.
I don't know if that was like an insult.
No, that's Tim. No, because I think we talked about this before. That's why I thought of you. I'm pretty sure we talked about Sucker Punch. Because I love Sucker Punch.
Have we seen Luca? Yes. I actually did not like Luca very much. Weirdly, though, I have such a high standard. Well, I used to have such a high standard for Pixar. Something in Luca specifically, I know this is super nitpicking, and I apologize for sounding crazy, but they painted on the highlight on their irises, which is very strange to me. So when he's underwater, and there's a part where the light source is definitely behind him, the highlight on his eye is painted on. And I'm like, when has Pixar ever done that? And I'm totally about painted textures, but that like really threw me off.
That was another Tim moment where I could have watched the whole movie and not even noticed that. But you called that out like literally the first 5 seconds was on the screen.
Yeah, like Luca to me, it just felt very forgettable, and I don't like using this word a lot, but that one did feel queer baity, where are they gay, aren't they, and then it not at all, and it's, I don't know, it didn't feel like a film that I was super into while watching it. I remember watching it being like, I'm gonna totally forget this movie in like a year.
Oh, Corey's asking what we're coming to Ohio for.
So Josh is staying here to watch with the cats.
The cots.
He's watching the cots. I am doing an art retreat with 4 of my art friends, and I'll take pictures and stuff while I'm there, and I'll definitely share on Instagram. But I want to do more of these art retreats for some of my art friends. So a month ago, I was with Devin L. Kurtz, Naomi Van Duren, and Justin Donaldson, and it was just, we went to California, and it was kind of a game changer for me. It totally changed the way I thought about Twitter. If any of you guys want to get better at Twitter, I feel like Devin gave me the okay to tell people, because she really understands Twitter and gave me a lot of advice that I have been using Twitter super wrong for the last 9 years. So quick tips on Twitter, and then I'll be done. Don't use hashtags. Keep it short and sweet. Try to have a clean scanned image if you do traditional, especially, and try to have it overhead. And you want to do bumps either 1 hour or 24 hours after the original post, and a bump is basically adding value to the original post, whether that's with work in progress pictures or the tools that you worked with or close-up shots or whatever it might be that adds value to that original post. And then I was told to post between 5 and 7 Central Time, and it has worked quite a bit. And I'm not trying to like take this as my own. I did not invent this. This is all Devin L. Kurtz. You can follow her. She's wonderful. I basically, for 8 years, I have been using Twitter, and I had about 9,500 followers on Twitter because I put all of my effort on Instagram. I started applying Devin's techniques, and yeah, there'll be hits and misses, but I've already gained over 3,000 followers, which clearly I've been doing Instagram or Twitter way wrong. And I think sometimes you have to swallow your pride and take a humble pill and realize things are evolving and changing all the time with algorithms, with each social media platform, with new social media platforms, hence TikTok. And a lot of it's just adapting. And there are times where, yeah, I might have been really good at Instagram a couple years ago. And right now I've like hit that plateau, but a lot of people have been hitting that plateau recently on Instagram specifically. But Twitter, I just had to admit, I suck. I suck at Twitter, and let's try something new. And I have been trying something new, and it's working. And I think you just have to always be in that mindset of evolving and adapting and being okay to admit when you don't know what you're doing and ask for help. So that'd be my advice. Okay, I think we're going to stop the stream here. Very interesting stream concept today. Thank you, Digital, for taking us down this path. Definitely interesting. I almost like my thumbnail better. I hate when I like my thumbnails better than the finals, but sometimes that happens.
Tim, it's the same thing.
No, but his head's a little bigger here.
Oh my god.
And I like the cart dimensions. I like that it's pointing more toward the camera, where this one, it's like pointing away. Like it should be more like here maybe. But I like doing these streams with you guys, and they're always kind of fun just to chit chat and test myself on what I can do in 2 hours with a random prompt like this. So anyways, you got any last minute things to say on your end?
No, I think I'm good.
So the only last minute things I'll say is, 1, we will not have a stream next week, so final reminder. 2, we did try a new salsa because we were talking about salsas last week. I'll make a mention of it if we're going to buy it again just to double check to make sure we like it, but then we'll recommend it because the Tostitos one that we like was apparently rated the #1 worst salsa you can get. And then the last thing is we're going to be doing, we just came off of a power weekend. I guess I should have talked a little bit more during the stream. But we had a couple of friends over, and we just were working all weekend. It was really fun. I definitely recommend it to you guys. If you guys have some close friends that you want to work together while talking, I think it's the best way to get work done and still get like your social quota filled. So I would definitely recommend it. Karina was here, and it was great. Oh,
Tigil.
Wait.
Donated $1. I'll give you $10 if you punch me.
No. I would need a lot more money than $10.
All right, movie night, Tim.
No. Well, okay. One last thing on Sucker Punch, I guess. So
we're ending this on Sucker Punch.
I know. But I can recognize why people like it for sure. I watched this analysis video where they talked about how Sucker Punch, if you watch it from the perspective that Baby Doll is actually a fictionalized character living inside of the other character's head, the one that actually escapes on the bus. I'll link you this video, Digital. This to me gave a deeper meaning to Sucker Punch that I thought was not there before. And it, even if it's maybe looking at things that aren't there, I like this interpretation so much. It actually does make me appreciate the film a bit more than I did originally. So if I originally saw it as like a 2 out of 10, I see it as like a 4 out of 5 out of 10. But I think a lot of people like the visuals more than anything, which fair. But I'm definitely more of a substance over style kind of person. So I can watch a lot of those like Criterion Collection movies or Mubi where it might not be pretty, but like I think it's so original and full of things to wrap your mind around. Anyways, I know.
Mubi.
So thank you guys so much for coming to this live stream. We'll probably have the next one. Maybe we'll do the next one. No, I think we'll save the critique one for after I get back. So we'll do whatever the next one is. Will be more of a fun one.
Let's just get it. Oops. Oh my god. clicked off the stream.
So on April 6th
There we
will
go.
be somewhat of a fun one, and then the week after will be the critique
There you
stream.
go. So April 13th. Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay.
if you want me to give you a critique on your stuff, either become a Patreon member or a YouTube member before that stream, and then I'll definitely give you more info on how to submit your work for the critique and all that beforehand. Okay, I'm rambling at this point. Thank you guys so much for coming to this live stream. I'll be posting on Instagram later, so if you want to see my newest reel, and I think that's all I got. Okay,
Cool.
take care, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, 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 bye,
Mwah.
bye, 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 bye. Whoop. This is what happens every stream. I have to like reach over awkwardly.